Greetings everyone, I'm Dan, and this is Techtonica. Early Access is finally here, and we are starting a brand new Let's Play series in Techtonica. However, since I was lucky enough to get to work on the factories for the Techtonica trailers, I already have quite a few hours of experience playing the game. While I may have spent several dozen hours building the trailer factories, I might have played just a few hours on my own time. Also, since this is a brand new Let's Play, it'd be really helpful to the channel and the series to hit the like button and comment below about what you'd like to see and the kind of factories you'd like to see me build in this series. So this playthrough is going to be a little less about discovery and more about building amazing factories and sharing what I've learned along the way. Let's see how much further we can push the game together. We're going to jump right into this and get ourselves moving. I will leave timestamps below and let you know if I think the content will get a little spoiler heavy, so you can skip ahead if you want to avoid those. So let's get started. First up, looks like we need to gather 15 iron ore and 15 copper ore. So what we're going to do is go ahead and build a couple of drills, place them down on the associated ore nodes. Don't forget to grab some plant matter for fuel, add it to the drills, gather our materials, and upgrade to the next level.
Good work getting that ore plugged into the terminal, Groundbreaker.
Now we got to build a scanner, and we're going to scan these.
Additional tech tiers or cores may...
Go ahead and scan the smelters. Now that we got smelters scanned in the tech tree, we have to unlock them. So what that means is we need to build some cores in order to do our smelters. So we'll go ahead and create like 10 of them. Now that we have our cores, let's go place them. I'm just going to put them back here where the other cores are. Now we could go build the smelters, but I have a little trick. If we look at the map, you can see there's actually a tunnel right here. And we're gonna dig through with a pickaxe right now. This is what I want. This is what I want. Now up here are some goodies, a little bit. Namely, biobricks. These are much better fuel than plant matter. Now, if you pay attention to your map, you will notice there's some green dots around. These are buildables. Or in this case, there are hidden little chests, and there's one over here. But you might come over here and find that it's behind a protected area. Get that out of the way. Well, all you gotta do is turn to the right a little bit and just dig out this area. And just like that, we have a whole bunch of goodies. All right. Now, time to go make some smelting. We don't even have to build a smelter. Although we probably will. Now, the nice thing is we got access to belts before we've even unlocked it. For the smelter, we have to actually unlock in the tech tree to actually use. Won't turn on otherwise. But for like belts and inserters, we don't have to. And we luckily enough got 200 belts and 16 inserters. That number of belts and inserters is just perfect enough for us to throw down a couple of smelters. All right, now with everything wired up and added some fuel, these things are ready to go. Time to move on to copper. Don't forget to scan everything you can. Extra parts and stuff makes building faster. So we are just going to go ahead and put down 2 smelters here. All right, now that we have that, we can actually turn in our 20 iron ingots, 20 copper ingots, and we're going to upgrade the terminal.
Terminal upgraded. New technology and crafting schematics available.
So we have now unlocked the 3rd tier of the tech tree. We have a couple new things we have access to. We can unlock the long inserter, get suit speed 2, and we can get mass erase and mass collect. And we're going to go ahead and get mass collect, mass erase, and we're going to go ahead and get long inserter. Let's take a look at what we got to do in the terminal now. We're going to need 30 iron ingots, 30 copper ingots, conveyor belt 45, inserters 4, and containers 2. Well, we've already got this covered because we could drop the belts we have left over there. We got 2 containers. Now we just need to make a couple inserters. Boom. And grab some more ingots. Just like that. Ingots, inserters. And we are upgrading the terminal. fully upgraded.
Beacons are back online. Inspect the radio console right next to the screen. It'll start beeping and blinking in 3, 2, 1.
That's this one. We'll look in a second. I want to take a look at the tech tree. So we've unlocked. One thing I didn't mention is that whenever we unlocked a new tier, we got access to a set of items automatically. In tier 2, we got access to the research cores and the scanner. In tier 3, we got access to belts and inserters. And now in tier 4, we have access to some new intermediate parts that we'll use to craft other things. We now have some other upgrades available to us, but we're going to get to them a little later. For now, we're going to move on and go get sparks. Let's go ahead and interact with this terminal.
Signal triangulated. New location added to HUD. Life sign.
Access to all local facilities should be restored, including the one I've been stuck in this entire time. Sort of the opposite of what I remember it being like.
I did mention there are little green things on the map, little chests. So make sure you open it and find them. And finally in here, we're going to go ahead and grab sparks and head on out. Here we go.
Casualties detected.
Aw, that poor lady.
What? You've never seen someone stuck inside an alien cube next to their own dead body before? Whatever I was trying to do here, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say it didn't work out.
No,
Hopefully,
probably
it's
not.
worth a shot. Let's go.
I think there's another chest right here with even more fast inserters. Oh, so beautiful. There's nothing here to scan, unfortunately, but the nice thing about sparks is that she gives light. As we make our way out, you're not going to be able to miss the mole.
Stop. Scan the fragment in that cage by the stairs before we go. We'll
Yeah.
need that tech to get out of the sector.
That is the mole. What's this? Oh, Mark II belts already. And more goodies. All right, let's get on out of here. If you were exploring earlier, you may have run into some wall like this. You'll find that the tool doesn't work. So we need the mole for that. Now, luckily enough, in the terraforming section, we only need 7 cores, which is what we have. Also, before I leave, what I'm going to do is actually set up a little output for this. That'll involve me building a few more inserters. I'm going to also bump up the fuel here. And this way, we can come back and have some iron and copper ingots available for building. We'll probably want it, so I'm just going to let it run while I'm off exploring the world. Now, I want to line this up. I know that the riverbed actually, there's things that I want to do, but I'm going to move over a little bit this way for lining up reasons. They'll make themselves evident later. Evident. Oh yeah, cut through the mole. Yes, cut, burn, destroy. Cool, there we go.
I don't understand. A factory the size of a city is supposed to be here.
So let's go ahead and inspect the terminal. Now look at that, 500 and 500. We're almost there. We could go grab our ingots in just a minute and probably just unlock the next terminal if we wanted to. Wouldn't that be epic?
This terminal is trying to reach out to 100 facilities that might not exist anymore. If we can repair it, we might be able to decipher where those facilities are located.
So deciphering signals, these things we just got to follow a certain task, such as this one, building an unknown number of power floors, and then same thing here, building an unknown number of crank generators, and then it'll let us know where the signal is. Let's go ahead and do some scanning. And we got the mole flatten ability. All right, let's go start scanning stuff. We've got more lights. Got the assembler, 1 of 3. Long inserters, which gives us some free inserters. That's nice. Another assembler, where there is more assemblers available. And there we go. Now we can unlock the assembler and also biobricks, which is what we need.
In other words, even though you can handcraft anything, assemblers will make 2 of them in the same time it takes your portable tool to make 1. And we can build 1,000 assemblers, but nobody could ever build another you.
Yes, this is a very interesting mechanic here in Techtonica. Assemblers will build double what the UI says. So if the UI says it's going to build just one, or if something like wire, you can see here it says copper wire times 4. So if you build copper wire, it's going to build 4 of them. But if an assembler builds copper wire, it builds 8. Isn't that nice? So that means that any handcrafting you do from this point forward is a waste of resources. So we need to optimize as early as we can. Although, it's fine. There's plenty. But definitely worth automating as much as possible. You will save resources. They do not last. So we are actually going to start doing that. We're going to build some smelters. 5, 6. So we're going to build, I think, we'll put 3 drills on each one. And I don't know. We'll do 3 smelters per piece. We might add another drill to keep up for it. In order to be able to use assemblers and all the other goodies that we just unlocked, we actually have to put down some power cores. So I am crafting a few here and just start placing down the cores. All right, so I've done a few cores. So we're going to go ahead. I've got 27 now. I'm going to go ahead and unlock assemblers. I also want to get, I want crank generator. I'm going to need to make a couple more.
Crank generator.
And basic construction. All right, with that, we can now build assemblers. We can build crank generators. We can also build power floors and stairs. Oh, this is the perfect chance to actually start our biobrick production because I have a bunch of plant matter and limestone available. So what I'm going to do is actually build one assembler. We already have some power floors, so find a spot, off out of the way, wherever that may be. Right now, I'm going to start here. It's going to be temporary. I'm going to lay down some power floors just like this. Then we're going to drop down an assembler along with 2 containers right next to it to hold our limestone and plant matter. I have access to some fast inserters, but I want to save those. So I'm just going to go ahead and insert them like this. I can also, if I wanted to, for the limestone, do this. That'll give me some extra oomph. I'm going to put all my plant matter in this one. I'm going to put all my limestone in this one. That's going to clear my inventory pretty well. And this one I'm going to go ahead and set to biobricks. And then we're going to lay some crank generators down right here. I don't need 3, but I'm going to probably utilize this spot later. So each one of these, I'm now getting 450 kilowatts. Assemblers only need 50. So we got enough for like 9 assemblers. I want to go ahead and build a spot for our smelters and production. So I'm going to start, as much as I do not want to use my resources and power floors and make too many of them, I'm going to have to make some, because I'm not producing them yet.
Local signal deciphered. Ingress AS2013.
Oh, there we go.
Report to production terminal radio for triangulation.
So when that happens, you actually run over here to the radio.
Signal triangulated. New location added to HUD. Mind the voltage.
And there we go. We got a signal right there for AS. All right, we're going to get rid of this block. And I'm going to start cutting in right here. But I'm going to go up by 1, 2, 3. I may have done this once or twice. And there we go. Perfectly level. You can go down if you want, make a stairway.
Hey, a battery pack. Sorry, an accumulator substation. I'll try to go easier on the recon slang. It might help you guess at what those signal names are shortcodes for. Accumulators won't matter for a while, but get in the habit of scanning anything and everything you...
That would explain what the
can only help.
AS means, the Accumulator Substation. That said, you can see there is a lot of scammable stuff we can make. We got 4 out of 10 for accumulators. Let's go ahead and see what else is here. Oh, there's the overhead light available.
If any...
Mole speed 2. Moling faster is always good. Let's see what's in the chest. Oh, 3 more free cranks. Hover pack. Hover pack! All right, now that we've scanned that accumulator substation, we will return. We'll hook that up. We actually want to hook that up. It'd be nice if my... I'm going to build a bridge right to that hole I built. It's okay, we got stuff building. All right, so here comes the interesting part. So the nice thing about accumulators, now that we have access to them, is the fact that they, from when we turn the cranks on, they'll store power, and then they'll keep our factory running. It provides us a little bit of early automation, although there's another thing we can do to get even more power, which we'll get to. So we got to make sure our power floors are connected to it. So I've built into here, and now I'm stacking more power floors on top of that. That provides us that vertical connection, and I'm going to connect that to the power floors right here. And now we have some free accumulators already set up. So now our power is running all the way across and over to the accumulator room, and you can see our accumulators are already charging, which is beautiful. Accumulator charge, I like that we can see that. So I guess we got 10 of these. Looks like each one can hold about 10 megajoules. So that'll keep our factory running a little longer, depending on how big we get. I want to make sure that I have room for my assemblers, so I'm going to build power floors all the way across, simply because we can do this. So instead of using instead of using 2 inserters like I demonstrated earlier, we can actually use fast inserters like this. A single fast inserter will do the job. They do need power though, so we'll run some power floors here and try to connect it up to this one. That'll make sure they're powered. And then, since we know we have fuel coming in, I can get rid of that. We can actually follow along the same belt, or straight if you have your, however you set up your drills. And then now we can use these long inserters like this to automate our power. And our fuel can come from our little container over here, which maybe we'll use a couple of fast inserters so that we can keep up. So the same thing here. I'm going to set up 3 of these. This way I can actually have inserters on this side, and then I can have my output here and the fuel come in right here. And after completing this same process on the other side for copper, we're ready to move on to assemblers. So we need to get them together and start building. We do have 3 assemblers already, and I said we're gonna need, we definitely, the production machines will not need nearly as many as we do inserters, long inserters, and belts. And the same thing with power floors. So I believe what I want to get done is get some conveyor belts building, some inserters building, and some base building stuff. We're going to keep this simple. If I want to build inserters, here I need to build mechanical components. Mechanical components require copper ingots and iron ingots. And what I'd like to do is just output them here. So we are going to run this belt this way, and our copper components, or our copper ingots, are going to come all the way down here and end here. If we're wanting to build mechanical components, we're going to have 1 inserter and 1 long inserter. This may not be the most efficient build, but we don't need it to be efficient. We just need it to build something. Now, if I wanted to do long inserters, I could try to split my inserters. We can actually abuse that a little bit. We're going to put a container right here and a belt right here. We're going to have 1 inserter right here that's going to insert to this container, and we're going to have 1 inserter here. So every time it makes 2, each one of those inserters will grab 1 and pass it over to the machine. In this case, we're going to be making long inserters, which need inserters as a component. Should be able to witness that. Just like that. You see how that worked? Each one of those got 1. So I'm going to build another assembler right here to do mechanical components. There are so many ways to do this, but this is what I would call the simple way. And then for these long inserters, we're going to have 1 output onto the single belt here, and it's going to output here. So we got a little bit of a ring of inserters going on here, but I do want to limit how many I'm making to a degree. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this thing up where I can with limestone. All right, so This should limit a little bit. We're going to get more long inserters than we will inserters, but I think once we got a couple of stacks, that'll last us a while. Next thing on our list, we've got the inserters done. We do want conveyor belts. Containers would be nice. All of these would be nice, but I want conveyor belts. We're going to be making lots and lots of those, and we need to do these. So conveyor belts are easy. We also need mechanical components. That said, our long inserters are putting a bit of an output delay. So why don't we try putting just our conveyor belts right here and having it output as well over here. That may starve it a little bit, but we'll come back to it a little later. And we're going to go ahead and have it output here. Now, belts build really fast. I mean, insane. So if you really want to output fast, put a belt next to it, output 2 or 3, 4 more, and come over here. Use fast inserters, whatever you want. So that should help us do belts. All right, on to the next thing. We have 3 of our logistics done. I could do this, but that would use a lot of iron, and I want that iron going to something else. I want it to go into here. So let's get our power floors done. So in order to do that, we're going to do kind of the same thing. We need copper wire and then power floors. And actually, I might be able to reuse the wire, so I'm going to do wire here and power floors here. And that actually makes me want to move it just in case. So we're going to do this. Put wires there. We might put the stairways here since they require the same stuff. We'll see how our copper wire is doing. So we'll do copper wire here. And then we're going to do power floor right here. This just takes copper. So we're going to go ahead and put 2 long inserters there. We're going to have our iron ingots come down here. These just take iron ingots. It's a little further down the line, so I don't mind abusing it. And we'll go ahead and have that output just like before. How's our power do? Look, we've been running the accumulator for a while. I've been running off the accumulator for a while. It's falling down pretty quickly now, but it just goes to show you how long they can last. Although it's starting to go down quicker now that we have more. Ooh, we're starting to run low on iron ingots. I might add another drill. All right. With the addition of a few lights, we now have a beautiful little starter factory that's producing pretty much all the main things we need. And now we are producing everything that we're going to be using a lot of, or things that we can use down the line in further production. We got through a lot this episode. We went through it kind of quickly, but next episode we'll start slowing things down. We'll focus on some more early game power automation and getting our research cores done and into the core composer. I'll see you then. Until next time.